Hello, very welcome in our world of wonders. This is Mönch Pasura. Hello, nice that you're here with me today.
Thank you, it's nice to be here.
So we have this World of Wonders interviews always with people who are passionate about what they are doing, and today we're very glad that we have here Mönch Pasura. He is a Thai monk practicing in the Dhammakaya temple, and very happy that we now can talk a little bit about your daily life, about your routines, and you're traveling a lot. You've been to over 80 countries now, and it's the first time for you in Austria. But yeah, let me ask you the first question about your normal daily life in the temple. What is it to be a monk?
Well, as a monk, the goal is to practice the purification of the mind to different methods like meditation practice, chanting, and a lot of daily routines. And we sleep together like a dormitory, so I don't have a personal room, so it's like a lot of beds in one place. So the schedule starts about 4:30 in the morning when we get up together, and then we will go to have our morning chanting and meditation from 5 roughly until about 6:30, and then the breakfast will be at 7 o'clock. And then we will carry on with some daily chores and activities, and we will resume meditation again at 9, or if some other monks have other part of the temple they have to be responsible for, they will be doing that. 11 o'clock will be lunchtime, and this is the second meal, so it is the last meal of the day as well, because in Thailand monks only have 2 meals a day, breakfast and lunch. And after lunchtime, then 1 o'clock will be the starting with that. We go into the afternoon meditation or work for the temple, and it continues down until 4:30. That will be another personal time that some monks will go to the pagoda to pay homage to the Buddha, circumambulations, and then we start again at the 7 o'clock for evening chanting and meditation, and that will go until 9:30 or 10 o'clock in the evening, and we probably go to sleep about 11. So that will be the whole day of the daily activities.
Nice. We in Europe often have this feeling or this picture in our mind. If you think about a temple, then it's more or less a little small, tiny, little nice thing where 10 or 20 monks are, and this is kind of our image. But the Dhammakaya temple is huge. You have 2,000 practicing monks there. You have really also a lot of buildings there. They are really like built in this secret geometry and all these nice buildings, also office buildings and everything. It's a really huge complex there. But you're also not just there, you're also traveling a lot. Now you talked about your daily routines. Can you also tell us more about this whole temple there?
The temple is actually considered as very young temple in Thai standard because it has been founded only for 50 years. And it was started up by Master Nun, who was one of my master. She was a nun, and she was the one of the best disciple of the great master who founded our meditation practice. So when she was 60 years old, she received a donation of land, which is an empty rice field. And actually at the beginning, it was only 90 acres. So she planned to have a temple for only 20 monks. And it was supposed to be a forest temple that was not too far from Bangkok. Because that time, that area was like nobody was there, just empty rice field, and it was about 2 hours from Bangkok. So it was like a perfect place for people in the city come to meditate during the weekend. So that was the idea. So she began to turn everything, develop the lands and start provide teachings to a lot of public, and people just keep coming because they got benefit from the practice of meditation and the simple teaching that can be applicable to daily lifestyle. So from then the temple continued to grow bigger and bigger, and when that happened, there are a lot of people who just want, okay, can you provide the cost for the youth? Can you provide the cost for the teachers, for the adults? So that's why we have projects started to getting bigger and bigger, and that become the expansion of the temple until it become what it is today, nearly 1,000 acres and 100 overseas branches. But they start off very simple. It took about 50 years, but thanks to the master nuns and my master who have been so dedicated in the way to sharing the meditation, because they believe if everyone attain inner peace, and the world will be a better place. People will behave more positively, more peacefully toward each other. They'll be more responsible for the world as well. And that will lead to the betterment of humanity. And because of that vision that I got, it makes everything slowly expand. And people who comes in meditating, they feel it for themselves. Once they attain that inner peace of mind, they realize that it is possible. And because of that, it helps the temple to grow into what it is today.
So now you talked about your mission, the mission that you do obtain inner peace can also provide outer peace for everybody, and that's why you're traveling around and want to also share this with people also in the West. And what is your personal gain, or what makes you happy about this? So because we always are on the path to happiness, what leads you there?
To be honest though, first of all, I became a monk at 28 years old, so I was a flight attendant. I traveled a lot before I was a monk. When I became a monk, I didn't want to travel anymore. I wanted to stay meditating at the temple. But my master was the one who, bring me closer to him and, provide teachings. I was his translator as well. So when I pick up a lot, and then he begins to assign me, okay, you do the teaching here, the teaching there. So I then become what I have been traveling over 80 countries. So at first I didn't want to go so much because it will be more comfortable, happier to just meditate quietly at the temple. But I realized that, I feel kind of in debt to my master, and I felt like I want to do this as a way to show my gratitude. So that's kind of drive me. Okay, I will keep just going and going. But then I realized that once I keep sharing the meditation practice, and meditation is universal, it's not about religion practice. It helps a person to just get in touch with themselves, to that building inside. And then they will just, feel that kind of joy within themselves, even though they can be poor, they can be sick, they can be in different conditions, they can be in prison, they can get in touch with the same source of joy. And what really made me feel happy about it is that each time meditation ends and people open their eyes, you can see the sparkles in their eyes, in little eyes, and people just like, they went to a completely different world, and it just came back and was like, wow, you were just right in me, and it's so simple. And that makes me even more kind of confident in what my master has, and a vision that world peace can be achieved through the inner peace if everybody just get in touch with that.
Thank you for sharing this picture now with the sparkling eyes, because this is also one thing that we are always up for in our World of Wonders, to see people with sparkling eyes and see to share their stories and share their lifestyle. And that I want to ask you the next question concerning the whole now you said it doesn't matter which culture a person has, which religion a person has, it just can do every person meditation practice. So what would you tell people how they can start meditation if they never did before?
If you understand the concept of meditation, you will realize that you have done something very similar to meditation ever since you were a kid until right now. Meditation is a skill to develop that quality of mind so that the mind can be more focused, more attentive, more peaceful and calmer, just to be more focused on just one thing at a time, or to be more present. It's a skill that we can develop over time with different kind of practice, depends on the schools or traditions. So to begin with is that our mind just like a naughty monkey that always jump around. So what we try to do is just to bring the monkey closer to us, train him, tame the monkey. So what we do is just to, hey, this is a banana. Just keep coming in, take a banana, and I'm going to continue feeding the monkey until the monkey enjoy the time and settle down on its own. So meditation practice are pretty much like that. So what you can do is just very simple. You can just begin with sitting down relaxingly and just slowly bring attention back to yourself, just to observe everything around you. You don't have to interact, you don't have to ask questions, why is this going on, what is happening, just watch for a while. Let your eye close and just feel. You can even imagine yourself sitting in the nature, wherever you like, under the sun, under the moon, in the forest, on top of the mountain, and just think, I am on holiday. And just observe the feel, sense of peace and calmness. The key to meditation is just to observe. If you want to observe anything that helps you to be present, that's fine. You can observe your cycle of breath, you can observe your body sensation, you can observe an object that you visualize in your mind, you can observe the voice that you kind of use as so-called mantra, which is the mental recitation. Anything are just banana that help the monkey to stay at one place. And just keep observing that. The key to meditation is actually so simple. It's about not doing anything. And just let everything be, let everything go, and just realize that you are right here as comfortable as you can while observing everything, but realize that you are right here. That's the trick.
So all this being right here in the present moment, being in the here and now, it's now also a lot of people talking about, a lot of people try to achieve this. But you always have a lot of thoughts coming in. How do you quiet your thoughts?
I find these kind of two things normally that people are having. Number one is that the thoughts they already have inside themselves. And, we love to have kind of pills to stop everything. We love to take an easy way out, So it's like, if I have the pills to shut out my thought, it will be easy. But it doesn't work that way. So the key to meditation, think of it that if you go to a cinema, you are not an actor or actress. Your job is to sit back, relax, and watch the movie. When you have thoughts coming in, you realize that you become an actor or actress in your movie. You just begin to have a conversation with other characters or jump into from one situation to the other situation. You just keep from scene to the other scene. So it's okay. Whenever you realize you got lost into the movie, return to your seat where you can sit back, relax, and enjoy it. Because sometimes you can turn from actress into a director and producer, and it's just go along a version of the movie. But as long as you can keep coming back to your seat, you finally be able to let the movie come to the end on its own. And that's the way we're dealing with the thoughts. We don't need to try to shut them off. We don't need to fight it at all. We just watch the movie. Realize I'm just sitting right here comfortably, watch the movie, and it will end on its own. The other one is that other people sort of like condition themselves to the environment or surrounding. My workplace is too noisy, I have kids running at home. There's always some kind of excuses. And it's just the condition that we have set in our mind that I have to be quiet, I have to be in this place in order for me to be calm and to be peaceful. These sounds are kind of distraction. But it's the same thing as you will watch the movie with your thoughts. You can't blame things for happening because if you keep blaming, it doesn't fix anything. So the key is just the same thing you treat the movie with your thoughts. Sit back, relax, and just listen to it. Notice and come back when you can just hear it from. And eventually you don't pay attention to them anymore. And when you don't pay attention, it doesn't matter anymore. Imagine things in your life when you get upset. It's just because you pay attention too much on it. And the more that you pay attention, the more you get upset about it. So why do you make trouble with that to yourself? So the key is just, okay, I realize what's going on. Just come back here and say, pay attention to where you feel comfortable at, rather than things that disturbed you. And that perspective will change the way you feel already. And that's how you deal with meditation in every aspect. It could be a very noisy place in India. It could be a quiet place in the forest. It doesn't matter. Because what matters if your mind is quiet or not.
So that is a good advice, I think, for everybody to just don't pay too much attention on all these senses, because there is always something which can interrupt you and also which bothers you or doesn't bother you. So it's your decision where you take your attention to, I think. Yeah. You're practicing meditation by yourself, you're teaching meditations. Is it a difference for you if you practice by your own or with a big group, or how does it affect? Because also people say, okay, we need to practice meditation together that we can achieve something in the world. Is this something what you say, yeah, that works? Or because you also in your temple, you have a huge place for 1 million people to meditate together. What are the purpose of these group meditations and what can it achieve?
My master kept saying that when we are meditating in a group, we sort of resonate the energy towards one another. So this synchronize of the energy that we are sharing with is sort of help us to achieve that state of peace a lot easier and even more profound as well. It's like it's not just me meditating, it's like you helping me with my meditation and vice versa. And when we do together in the big group, it really creates such a strong energy that kind of help us to feel so connected within ourselves, at the same time connect with everything. And for me, that is very profound. I have been meditating a lot on my own. And I can feel the differences when I am in a big ceremony at a temple and we just have 100,000 people meditating quietly, like you can hear a pin drop. And the feeling was just so profound. So I can feel the difference in that as well. When I was meditating alone, just take a simple way. When you're meditating alone, sometimes you get too lazy, you just go to bed. But if you're meditating in a group, at least you still feel kind of encouragement to keep going, right? So it kind of helps you to be steady on the cause as well. So I really feel that on myself, but I think everybody need to try it at least with two things to see the differences. I see the benefit of both. But then, to be honest, meditating in a group really gives a strong sense. And I think there is another kind of scientific experiment that they call Schumann resonance. They were listening to the frequency of the world when people are practicing mindfulness. So when people practice mindfulness, this frequency in the world has changed to be steadier. And it's called Schumann resonance. I was kind of, I was joining one of the group called Earth Day Meditation once, and they were doing this kind of 24 hours meditations a day from different regions of the world, and they measure this resonance. And then I found it very interesting when kind of collective people coming together and really resonate so much that even the world, the earth itself can really feel it and resonate it.
Very nice. Yes, so it has an effect if some people, especially all over the world together, do some meditations and have one thing in their mind. I mean, your main thing to come to peace, or what is your main focus in this, or is it purification, or is it, I don't know, happiness or love, or?
Actually, you get them all at once. It gave it all. It's like you light a candle. You get the combustion, you get the light, and you get the heat. Even though you light a candle, I said, I want it just to have light. I don't care about the heat, the combustion. You get them all anyway. So same thing goes with meditation. Even you emphasize on, I'm just meditating to relieve stress, or I'm meditating for enlightenment. So it's kind of, you get all benefit at once. So when you're meditating, what you really get is that the calmness of the mind. And when the mind begins to be calm, it begins to be purified on its own. So it begins to eliminate all this anger, frustration, irritation that we got, which kind of transform our actions, things that we think, words that we say, action that we do. So it's kind of cleanse that part. And when that is gone, what happens is that you become love. It becomes compassion, it becomes kindness, it becomes this sense of gratitude, forgiveness. All these values that we are talking about that we want to achieve, but we don't know how to train ourselves to do that. But it starts that from we having achieved that state of peace and calmness first. Because when our mind no longer attached to the external stuff, anything that we focus on will get bigger, it will magnify. If you focus on someone who was yelling at you, you get even more frustrated. But when your attention shifts to something else, like how funny it is that he looks so upset, the funny face that he was making when he was yelling, then even your mood can change automatically at that spot. So that is the difference when we are able to shift our attention to something else, and then it transforms negative into positive. So that calmness, peace, purification, loving kindness, all of that coming together in package.
Nice to know that you cannot, or you just focus on one thing, but you get everything. It's good to know that if you just focus on, for example, love, you also get gratitude and everything kind of together. And you mentioned before the school, what you're practicing, and then you just said afterwards that, but it doesn't matter which school or which lineage, you just, at the end of the day, meditation has the same effect, and enlightenment is kind of the big goal. Is it like this?
I know that some people might kind of get uptight about the tradition and schools of meditation. But for me, start something. As long as you start practicing, you get the benefits already. You will get to know whether what techniques of meditation is more suitable to you, which one make you feel more profound when you experience, what techniques give you more insight in your own practice. You will realize that later on you can take a pick. I'm not so like you have to pick this one or that one, because eventually you end up focused so much on the banana but not the monkey, when the monkey is a lot more important than in that aspect. So every technique of meditation is just to start with, you get at least calmness, you get peacefulness, you get stillness, and that's a good start. And from there, when you try to explore on your own different techniques of meditation, then try to do as deep as each school is providing. And you will begin to see the differences on their focus. And then from then on, you can take a pick, because eventually it's all about connecting within ourselves.
Thank you for sharing these profound things about meditation and about the story, how you became a monk and how the whole temple was evolved. Now we, do you want at the end of this little interview, do you want to share something with our people who are watching it?
I find that the world today, people have been so hard on themselves. They put so much pressure on themselves, and the sad part is that they don't even know where that comes from. They don't even know why they have to want so much, they have to desire so much, they have to push themselves so much. They don't even know why they're competing, who are they competing against. They just don't know where this thing coming from in their head at all. But they end up spending the rest of their life following exactly just that. So happiness is not too hard to achieve. It begins just so simple. Be more kind, be more compassionate to yourself. When you just take a step back, reset your mind, you begin to find a point where you can see what really matters to you, what are your priorities, what really important to you. Imagine that when you go to work and you feel frustrated at work and you feel like you collected garbage in your mind, and when you come back home instead, you can enjoy the time with your kids, your spouses, your partners, but you end up getting kind of frustrated and you say bad stuff. With the purpose that you love the most in your life, this is worth it, this is called life. It doesn't really matter, and that's what's going on. So sometimes we just end up in this loophole, and we don't even know where to break it, where to begin it. So if you are able to just reset your mind and just be more kinder to yourself, there are a lot of things that don't really matter to you. My master kept saying they are four aspects of life. My business, your business, their business, and someone else's business. If you just focus on my business, at least for the beginning, and the other three, there's just always something that you don't know what's going on. You can't control anything. And with that, you just take it at ease. Blaming things don't help. Running away from problems don't help. It's a matter of how we can carry on with our daily activities, duties, responsibilities, while still feeling the best we can, than the best we have. And if you can just be more kind to yourself, you get exactly just that. You get every aspect of your life to the fullest extent. Not running away from anything, but being everything.
Thank you very much for sharing all this knowledge and wisdom with me, with us here in our World of Wonders. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.